Hello everyone, I am Irfana Zikamiti Makasman from class DC60 or Delta. For this video, I would like to talk about a serial killer that are well known by everyone. Who is that? It is Ted Bundy. I will use 7 social processes to explain about Ted Bundy. But first of all, do you know who is Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy was a 1970s serial murderer, rapist, and necrophiliac. He was executed in Florida's electric chair in 1989. His case has since inspired many novels and films about serial killers. Alright, now I will use the 7 social processes about Ted Bundy. The first is mindlessly taking the first step. Ted Bundy is well known as a very handsome and charismatic man in his society. He usually approaches his victims in public spots, pretends to be injured or disabled, or impersonates a figure of authority before unconsciously knocking and taking them to a remote site to rape them. And sometimes he would visit his victims, clean up and perform sexual acts with decomposing bodies before any further interactions were impossible with wild animals. The second is dehumanization of others. Ted Bundy sees his victims as a sex object as he raped, kidnapped, and killed the victim, especially young women and girls. He also beheaded 12 of his victims after he had sex with them, and he would collect a Polaroid photograph of his victims in order to remember them. And the third is individualization of self with anonymity. Ted Bundy changed his name to several such as Chris Hagan, Kenneth Misner, Officer Rosland, Richard Button, and Rolf Miller. With these names, he would easily deceive his victim to trust him before he killed them. He would use this name every time he moved from his current location to a new place or town so that no one would recognize him, or every time he wanted to target someone, he would use his name. And the fourth is division of personal responsibility. In these cases, there are no personal responsibility because he admitted that he kills the victim alone without any help from others. And the next one is blind obedience to authority. The police and the parties involved did not imprison Ted Bundy as there were no solid proofs that he killed the victim, even though there were so many hints that led to him. Yes. And the sixth step is uncritical conformity to group norms. During his childhood, he always experienced physical or psychological abuse by his grandfather. This made him traumatized and led him to have a need to kill someone to express his anger and his frustrated towards his grandfather. And the last is passive tolerance of evil through inaction or indifference. Elizabeth, which is his wife, makes a report about him to the police, but they did not believe in her words, as Ted Bundy is a very nice person to the society and she didn't have any solid proof. However, there was one day where Ted Bundy wanted to kill her, but he didn't do it. But she knows about that. And she did nothing because she loves him so much. That is what we call passive tolerance. And we have come to the end of the explanation. I would like to give suggestion on how to prevent this social behavior. Firstly, we should not trust people easily in order to prevent ourselves from being a victim of murder, as how the victims got deceived by Ted Bundy's fake and perfect personalities. There are no such people that too perfect in everything. So we should be very, very careful before we give our information or receive help from them. Yes. And I would like to suggest one more, which is as a parent, we should always aware of our child's behavior and mental health because it can affect them in a long term. We should stop abusing them because it can affect their mental health and will make them have the urge to kill someone when they grown up. So that is all from me about 7 social processes of Ted Bundy. So thank you.